In this screencast, I explore how the idea of dominance and resistance is present in the narratives by Greenberg and Pang, or in simpler terms, the big guy versus the small guy. This media emergence, resistance and dominance by Nikhil Mohanan. Let's start with the narrative by Greenberg. At the turn of the 1980s, a new concept of video rental stores began to emerge. Small-time video stores were the first to emerge and immediately became third places for the public where people could hang out and interact with each other. It was a grassroots institution rather than by a corporation, and people came to it because they could associate themselves with the store and the other people that came to the store. Store owners and clerks themselves were film buffs who gave advice to customers on movie tapes, which tapes were sold along with VCR, hardware and popcorn. As seen in the movie Be Kind Rewind, stores were a neighborhood venture. That being said, each store presented video players differently. Some marketed them as videography tools, some as complementary components for television, and others as a device to watch movies on. Hence, there was a lack of consensus nationally on what a video store did. However, there was a local consensus because the distributor acted as a knowledge broker. However, it was not all glossy for the video store owners. There were legal ramifications. The law threatened to rule videotaping to be a copyright infringement, and Hollywood studios wanted royalty from every tape rented out. Some studios such as Home Warner Video started its own rental plan. How the retailers were outraged by this. They felt that they were being robbed of all their efforts. Hence, they formed trade associations to join forces to resist the action by the studio. This was the first hints of top-down approach. However, the studios used the video trade shows to reach out even more to the retailers and distributors. In the years following, affiliate stores began emerging across the country, which led to franchisee video stores. The biggest of all was Blockbuster, who wanted to be the McDonald's of home video. However, there was no popcorn or hardware, just movie tapes. Stores were standardized and no personal suggestions were given. Even then, the resistance continued. Small-time video stores still were popular in the countryside and in the very urban areas, and independent stores held on to niche markets. They stayed on as lasting reminders to their glorious past. Now let's move on to the narrative by Pang. In this narrative, he shows Hollywood as a big bully selling the idea of Western dominance. Hollywood does this through their love for technology. Hollywood movies are shown to be better using 3D and special effects, and hence sell the idea of Western modernity to developing nations. Hollywood exerts its influence over others by controlling the movie market and then exporting its movies to developing countries at a high price. This makes the people in such countries inadequate. The solution to this was VCD piracy. Pang considers this piracy not to be unethical, as they are trying to achieve a higher cultural standing through it. VCD piracy provides this modernity at a cheaper price. As expected, Hollywood tried to crush this piracy to not much success, however. The irony is that technology helped Hollywood spread far, yet it clamped down that very growth in Asia through piracy. Even if VCD piracy is clamped down fully, the resistance against Hollywood bullies will continue through another medium. Now let's look at a case study on online music, which has been a constant battle between the recording industry and the file sharing community. Online music emerged in the early 2000s. However, it was with the rise of file sharing sites such as Napster, Kazaa and LimeWire the public adopted it. These file sharing sites were easily accessible and it was free. It can be seen as a resistance to the traditional way of buying music CDs, which were expensive and out of the reach to many. With the rise of such services, the RIA sued Napster and won, showing its dominance. Also, around the same time, Apple introduced iTunes Store, where people could buy music online. With this, the music industry regained control of its content. However, as always, resistance emerges in the form of new players, such as Grooveshark, Emoji, Spotify, and Last.fm. They had a legal business model as opposed to Napster, so that RIA can't attack them. Through this screencast, we have seen that with every media emergence, there is a constant struggle of dominance and resistance, which leads to a widespread adoption of the media. Thank you.